episode of Fight Night Picks. Today we have UFC Vegas 104, Dolidze versus Marvin Vettori 2. We're going to recap the entire card. A lot of finishes on this card, definitely delivered. A lot of upsets. But let's go into how I did on the predictions, the picks, and without further ado, let's get this episode underway. Starting off, we had Carly Judice taking on Eunice Dubin. The first round starts and Judice is just on her ass. Came out guns blazing, did not give Dubin a second to, get herself together. She looked like she was stuck in mud the entire time, was unable to, find anything of substance to land on Judice. Judice is pressuring her a lot of combinations. And then she lands this beautiful head kick, sits Dubin down, and it was over from there. She landed a few shots on the ground. But, man, what a head kick. Definitely was not expecting that. Judice, man, salute to her. Earns her first UFC win. That was, the card started that way. I was like, I'm going to have egg on my face for the entire card. And that's pretty much what happened. Definitely was not seeing that coming from Judice, but what a great way, to start the card and to get her first UFC win. So, salute to Carly Judice. Next up, we have Priscilla Cachoeira taking on Josiane Nunes. Like I predicted, this was going to be a head-on collision. They both came out, were swinging huge shots. Josiane kept a high guard the entire time. She wasn't really, countering with it. She just used it to defend most of the things that Cachoeira was throwing at her. She landed, a couple good leg kicks. So after Cachoeira noticed that she kept that high guard, she throws this beautiful uppercut and sent Nunes to the shadow realm. It was disgusting. She's flat on her back, eyes rolled up, and the fight was over. I knew this wasn't going to go 3 rounds, but I did not think she was going to get put out like that. I thought Nunes would be the one, with the more power in her arm or in her shots, but apparently not. Shout out to Priscilla Cachoeira for the win. She mentioned in her interview that she was using crack, a while ago. So I wanted to highlight that. To there's things you could definitely overcome, and crack is one of them. So salute to her for making it where she is, and what a huge knockout. Back to back, 2 ladies starting off the card with some big knockouts. Definitely wasn't expecting that, but yeah. Another one. Egg on my face. Moving on, we have the bantamweights. Andre Lima taking on Daniel Bede. Andre Lima looked spectacular. For this division, he has a lot of power. The leg kicks were on point. He was tearing Daniel's leg up from the jump. His power in his hands was excellent. He hurt Daniel in the second round. Was hunting for the finish, but Daniel was able to survive. Shout out to him for being able to, to take that much punishment, because he was definitely pouring it on him. I thought Lima was going to get him out of there, but third round started, and Lima decided to shoot for a takedown, utilize some of his grappling, and he ended up finding the neck to get the submission, just like I predicted. I was very impressed with Andre Lima. I think, he's definitely going to have, he's going to cause some ripples in the flyweight division. When I was watching the fight, I was like, yo, this guy reminds me of Davison Figueiredo a lot. Like the power, the ability to mix it up. Just like how he looked, too. The demeanor, it looked a lot like Davison Figueiredo when he was a flyweight. So I'm definitely impressed with him. I know I gave Joshua Van a ranked opponent that I want to see him fight next, but I really want to see Andre Lima take on Joshua Van. I think that's a beautiful fight. You could put that like the main card opener, or shit. You could really make it like a UFC fight night. That's how high I am on both of these guys. I think you line them 2 up, and the winner gets like the loser of the Erceg Moreno fight. I think both of these guys have super high potential. They're definitely on the path to the belt. Maybe I'm shooting for the sky, but I want to see those guys mix it up, and then I want to see them get a top 5 opponent at least. But yeah, definitely impressed with Andre Lima. He looks scary for flyweight. Huge win. and perfect on the prediction. On to the ladies in the strawweight division, we had Sam Hughes taking on Stephanie Luciano. Round one was a very high pace. Luciano was landing a lot of good shots. Sam, she wasn't really backing down, applying a heavy pressure, utilized some boxing. So one thing I noticed with Luciano, she throws a lot of like looping hooks, and it leads her to being out of position. Like she'll throw like a huge hook and just be stuck there because she didn't land it, obviously. But she would get out of position, and round two, Sam made the adjustment and shot a beautiful takedown, landed it, and she was on her ass. She put her in a choke, and shout out to Stephanie for surviving that, because I think 95% of women in that position definitely would have tapped. But Stephanie held on. She was toughing it out, escapes the choke, and then Sam is on her full mount, applying some heavy shots, and whole round she was controlling her. Definitely dominant round. I'm not sure if it was a 10-8, but we'll get there when we get there. Definitely a big round two for Sam, though. Round three starts, and Stephanie defends all the takedown attempts from Sam, landed some good strikes, and kept her at bay, and had the higher output. So I definitely had Stephanie winning round 1 and 3. But we get to the scorecards, and Sam Hughes wins the fight, split decision, and she gets the 10-8 round in round 2. So a 10-8 round, in my eyes, the guy or the girl has to be hurt. You have to clearly, dominate the round. She dominated. I'm not gonna say she didn't dominate the round, but it wasn't like she was, I don't know. 10-8 was a little, it was a frivolous 10-8. We're just giving 10-8s out, if you get what I'm trying to say. The other judges didn't score 10-8. Everybody else had it, 2-1 or 10-9. I don't know. I don't agree with the 10-8. It was definitely a close fight. I thought Stephanie won round 1 and 3 clear, but I guess not. The reads were right. I said Stephanie was gonna, keep her at the edge of everything, defend majority of the takedowns, which she did. I think Sam only landed like 2 takedowns, maybe. She shot probably like 6. Stephanie looked better on the feet, mixing it up. But, the dice just doesn't roll my way sometimes, but it is what it is. Shout out to Sam for the big win. Very close fight. Moving on, we had Carlos Vera taking on Josias Musasa. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Was he like a minus 800 favorite? This is why you don't, go by the odds. I don't. I definitely thought Musasa was gonna knock him out, but not because of the odds, just because of how they fight. But Carlos Vera came out very light on his feet. He's utilizing a lot of taekwondo, bouncing, very light on his feet. Early in the first round, he landed a nice inside low kick and turned it into a spinning wheel kick that hurt Musasa, wobbled him a little bit. That was very impressive. I haven't seen, that combination thrown, I don't think ever, but that was very slick of him. Definitely was not expecting that, neither was Josias. He started rolling, doing the Eminari rolls. He has Ryan Hall in his corner, definitely trying to, maximize the jiu-jitsu, but Musasa wasn't playing the game like I thought he wouldn't. Then Vera lands the head kick that sends Musasa down. Jesus Christ, man. This dude's arm was behind his back, eyes rolling up. Vera jumps on his neck and gets the submission. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't get a break on the prelims, bro. It was like back to back to back to back. Jesus Christ. I hope Vera got the 50 G's. If not, I don't know how much more impressive you could be. That was nasty. Even the wheel kick was nasty. I would have gave him something for that, but what a finish. What an underdog. That was disgusting. Egg on my face for sure. AJ Cunningham taking on Su Young Yu. I don't think AJ Cunningham knows that he has hands. Honestly, I don't think he knows what boxing is. I think he just knows what kicks are because he did not use his hands the entire fight. He did not enter a range to throw any punches. Stayed at a kicking range the entire fight, and that let Su Young shoot for takedowns and control him the entire fight. He looked like he was like snake charmed or something. I don't know what he had going on, but he was not engaging in anything of substance. He landed a few leg kicks. That's about it. He got cracked with a big knee. He got taken down. Every second round was controlled. Took some punishment. Oh my gosh. AJ Cunningham was the worst pick of my life, I gotta say. 30-27, Su Young Yu. I don't even want to talk about this fight anymore. Unanimous decision. Absolutely disgusting. He's still not Khabib though, but whatever. Moving on to the prelim finale. We have Waldo Cortez Acosta taking on Ryan Spann. I think Ryan Spann needs to retire Superman. I think we need to call him Ryan Blooperman Spann. This dude is a walking blooper reel, literally. First round, they're exchanging a lot of good leg kicks. Cortez is landing the jab whenever he wanted. He rocked Ryan Spann in the first round, dropped him. Spann throws like this. He throws what did he throw? A spinning back kick at completely nothing. When Ryan Spann gets hurt, he just likes to bite down on his mouthpiece and throw whatever. Yeah. You got to question it sometimes, or I don't know what to make of it. Whatever. Waldo did poke him, give him an eye poke in the first round. That gave Spann a couple minutes to get his wits back together, but he didn't. He just went back to doing the exact same thing. He went for a trip, ended up on his own back, and ended the round getting some punishment. Round 2 starts, and Spann just decides to overthrow on everything. Didn't utilize any type of wrestling, and then he gets absolutely cracked. Waldo throws a beautiful jab, follows up with a left hook, and Ryan Spann is kissing his knees. Like, that's how bad he fell. He looked like a bag of rocks, and then Waldo finishes him with ground and pound. Fight is over, TKO. Yeah. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Prelims, absolutely disgusting, bro. I can't even. It was disgusting. Salsa Boy did call out Derek Lewis or Tai Tuivasa though. I think you could give him either one of them, honestly, and make it a fight night main event. I'll definitely tune in. It'll be very tense. Both of those guys that he called out, just knockout artists, and I'll give him a fair shake in both of them. I would rather see him fight Tuivasa probably though. But yeah, shout out to Salsa Boy getting the finish and finishing every prediction that I had. But moving on to the main card. Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the support, and let's get it going. In the main card, we had Kevin Vallejos taking on Sung Woo Choi. Kevin Vallejos looks like a baby Marcos Maidana. Or is it Marcos? I think that's his name, Marcos Maidana. Guy who fought Floyd. But yeah, very accurate with his shots. Head movement was amazing. He saw everything that Choi was throwing at him. First round, he draws the jab from Choi, ducks it, and then throws the overhand right that sat Choi down. Absolutely beautiful. Gets the first round knockout, and definitely stamped his return back to the UFC, or stamped his, arrival to the UFC since he didn't make it last time. And then he called out Gene Silva for the rematch. He's definitely not going to get it. He's fighting Bryce Mitchell next. But if he keeps the ball rolling like this, we'll definitely see that rematch. Probably maybe like a title eliminator. Give Vallejos probably like 2 more fights, 3 more fights. Definitely want to see that rematch. He looked improved. The hands were vicious. I want to see him. I want to see if he can go 3 rounds. Though. That's what I want to see. I don't know who to give him next, but definitely a good guy to watch at 145, and hopefully we get the. Oh, you know what? Let's do. Let's give him Hyder Emil. I want to see that. I want to see those two styles clash. Hyder Emil tries to walk through everything. If he could finish Hyder Emil, let's see it. But yeah, hell of a prospect to watch. Kevin Vallejos, beautiful knockout. Thank you for that, sir. Moving on, we have Brenson Ribeiro taking on Dayar Nurgazai. So with Nurgazai, he has like this tick of just wiping at his eye before anything, and it was like freaking me out. I knew he did it when I was watching his tape, but it was just weird seeing it again. I thought he would have, I don't know, get rid of it or something. But definitely was, Herb was looking at him like, what is going on with this guy? But the commentary booth even mentioned it. They was like, he's nothing wrong with his eye, but it's just a tick that he has. But, the fight started off solid. He was avoiding a lot of Ribeiro's big shots. He does, whenever he blocks something, he throws his hands all the way up. I don't really like that. I know some guys, you block and then you reset with it, but he was like, it was like he was cheerleading and he was just after every big shot. I don't get it, but he was pressuring Ribeiro. He tried to counter. I think it was like a kick. He countered the kick, blocked it, and then he pressured Ribeiro and got clipped with a 1-2. Beautiful 1-2 from Ribeiro. Sat him down. He wasn't out of it, but he definitely got clipped. Ribeiro tried to finish it before the first round, but he was still there. Round ends, and we move on to the second round. So start off on the feet again, and then Nurgazai shoots for a takedown and gets caught in a Kimura. So he tries to roll to escape, but Ribeiro definitely had it locked in. It was very deep. He rolls on his back, and he's getting ready to rip Nurgazai's arm out of his damn socket. Taps. Definitely got fraud check. Ribeiro, salute for finishing the newcomer. Man, huge underdogs cash on his card, but the finishes were, worth it. Damn, what a finish. What a way to finish Nurgazai. Definitely didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he would be a lot smarter than that, but yeah, the second fraud check on the night. Jesus Christ. We had Damon Blackshear taking on Cody Gibson. First round started and Cody shot out he got shot out of a cannon or something. He was on Damon's ass, and Damon did not look like he was ready to fight. Literally, he was slow. Was not prepared. I don't know what he looked like dry, like he wasn't warmed up enough in the back, but Cody was on him. He was not giving him, space to breathe or anything. He shot for a takedown, landed it, but Damon countered it, put him in a guillotine. He didn't finish it or anything, but the first round ended, and you could definitely tell, second round he was gonna be ready to fight. Second round starts, and he got the shakes off. Was landing a lot of big shots on Cody. He started bringing the exact same pressure back. Took the octagon back, and Cody shoots for a takedown. He gets it again, but Damon puts him in another guillotine, and then he transitions to another Kimura, and he finishes it. Gets the submission, back-to-back Kimuras on the card. That was cool to watch, and Damon definitely capitalized on Cody's mistakes of shooting. And just like I predicted, I thought he would get the submission, and he did. So that's 5, submission losses for Cody Gibson. And I think we give Damon Blackshear a ranked opponent now. He was headed that way before he got knocked out by Montel Jackson. But I think we can give him another chance now. And I'll give him Kyler Phillips, honestly. If he's not matched up with anybody, let's see Damon Blackshear versus Kyler Phillips next. And shout out to Damon. We had Alexander Hernandez taking on Kurt Holobaugh. The lock of the week. Round 1 starts, Kurt is on him. applying a lot of pressure, good inside boxing, avoiding a lot of shots that Hernandez likes to throw. Hernandez, he tends to stay a lot technical a lot. He just didn't have, the power to keep Kurt off of him. He landed a couple clean shots, but Kurt was just walking through it and then charging at him, landing his own combinations, definitely doing some damage. Round two, he busted Hernandez's nose up. I think his eye was swollen, looked like it was getting ready to close. But then Alex landed, a big takedown, secured some ground and pound, and controlled Kurt for, it was like 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half towards the end of the round. But Kurt throws up a triangle to end the round and definitely looked like Alexander was going to, tap. But he ended up escaping with like a couple of seconds left. So I scored it live. I had it 2-0. 2-0 going into the third. So the third round starts. Alex lands an early takedown. Smart game plan from him. He saw that Kurt still has not developed, takedown defense, and he exploited it. Landed, some ground and pounds. He was just controlling him for majority of, the third round. Kurt is just too accepting of being on his back. He relies on the jiu-jitsu a lot, but it doesn't look good for the judges. They fought. They got back to their feet. It was about like a minute and a half left. Kurt was walking forward, landing some big shots. Alex landed his own, but it was a clear, third round towards Alexander Hernandez. So I had it 29-28, Kurt Holloway. But these damn judges, unanimous decision 29-28, and then we got a 30-27 to Alexander Hernandez. I was just, the way the card started, I knew it was just going to be a bunch of bullshit, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not trying to be biased because Kurt was a lock, but I don't see how Alexander Hernandez won all 3 rounds when he was definitely getting hurt in 2 of them. I don't get it. It was a clear robbery. 2-1 Kurt. I don't need to watch the fight back or anything. I know exactly what happened, and it was 2-1 Kurt. But yeah, this card was full of that, just absolute nonsense, bro. Got to give Kurt some respect. Give him another, opponent. Jesus, man, it was just a nasty, nasty night. Bad decisions, a lot of finishes. It was a good card to watch, though. Not to predict, though. To the co-main event, we had Elizeo Zaleski dos Santos taking on Chidi and Njokuani. Round one, Zaleski was under pressure early. They're exchanging a lot of straight shots. Dos Santos landed a beautiful counter right hook in the pocket, and he clipped Chidi like right on top of the head. Wobbled him early in the round. I was worried that, he was going to get finished because of the bad cut. He missed by like 2.5 pounds. In his post-fight interview, they said that, the commission stopped him from cutting, but he felt good. But, so he definitely could have made the weight, but they stopped him from cutting. But yeah, I was worried that the bad cut and then his chin cutting down from 185 would have definitely gave out on him, but he ended up surviving the first round. So he dropped the first round to Dos Santos. And then round 2 starts, and Chidi, he's using his range, using the teeps, the jabs, keeping Dos Santos at the end of everything. Definitely wasn't letting him, pressure him like he did in the first round. And then Zaleski decides to pressure to, try and clinch up, and Chidi throws 2 beautiful knees up the middle, drops Zaleski, and Chidi gets the finish. Just like I expected, when Zaleski was gonna, pressure to get in the clinch, and Njokuani was gonna maximize his Muay Thai, throw some elbows, throw some knees, and he got the finish with a knee up the middle. Perfect prediction on this one, and we had Chidi call out, a top 15 matchup. I think realistically you give him, like a top 25 guy, just because, he missed the weight. I know he does have 3 finishes at 170 now, but I think he'll struggle with a lot of guys that have the ability to mix in the wrestling. He didn't, have to worry about that in this fight, but I think a lot of wrestlers will give him some trouble. But maybe you give him like the winner of the D-Rod versus Ponzinibbio fight. I can see them realistically giving him that. It'll be hard to give him a top 15 unless they give him like a Wonder Boy fight. I don't really see that happening, but that's probably the only guy that would really make sense at this time. But yeah, shout out to Chidi and Njokuani for the finish, and can't wait to see what they give him next. And in the main event, we had Roman Dolidze taking on Marvin Vettori. Fight looked, for a majority of the fight, it looked similar to the first fight. Round one, Marvin was a little cleaner, landed some cleaner shots, used the leg kicks. He did get hit with a headbutt. Took some time to, shake that off. But yeah, he avoided majority of Dolidze's big shots. So Dolidze was throwing the right hook a lot. Marvin got caught a few times, but for a majority of the fight, he saw it coming. You could read it from like a mile away. Round two, Dolidze, he was finding some success with the right hook. He checked a lot of Marvin's leg kicks, and then he landed, it was like a spinning elbow. Definitely scored with that. He threw a lot of axe kicks this fight too. Didn't land, but it was just interesting to see that, his striking, it definitely did evolve from what we've seen. I guess, he didn't get the chance to showcase it against Holland because he was trying to wrestle him. But yeah, he definitely, his striking looked a lot better. I had it 1-1 going into the third, and then third round, Vettori picks up the pace and he cracked Roman with a right hand, dropped him. He almost got him out of there, but he backed off, and he probably was trying to reserve himself, but it gave Roman enough time to recover. I think if he would have unloaded right there, he probably would have finished him. But decisions. I had it 2-1 after 3, and then round 4, Vettori just decides to take the round off. He was probably gassed. The 2-year layoff definitely played a part into this fight. It was either the layoff, the shoulder, or he just wasn't prepared for 5 rounds. I don't know what it was. Or it could have been, all 3 of those things put together. But yeah, he definitely took the round off, and Dolidze landed a big knee up the middle. It sliced, part of his eye open just a little bit, and Dolidze was throwing the harder shots all around. I had it tied at the end of round 4, and then going into round 5, Vettori, the first 90 seconds, he let off some good combinations. Definitely was landing his shots, was avoiding everything that Dolidze was throwing at him. And then I guess he was just done after that. He was gassed. Roman was just walking him down. He landed like 5 head kicks. He was just throwing them back to back. Marvin blocked a lot of them, but even just taking, those shots on the arms, you still take, majority of the force. So Roman definitely won, the 5th round. He looked like he was the more fresher fighter after the 3 rounds. Definitely was prepared and was able to outlast Marvin Vettori, which I haven't seen anyone, be able to do that. So salute to Roman for that. He won the fight 49-46. I definitely thought Vettori had 2 rounds, but, he lost regardless. He got cooked after the 3rd round, and Roman Dolidze walks away with the unanimous decision. Definitely rightful, winner in this one. Marvin Vettori wasn't prepared. He had probably like 3 rounds in him. He probably thought he could bank, the last 2 or whatever. But championship rounds, man, you got to show up and you got to fight. You got to be able to sustain that. So it'll be interesting to see what they give him next. Dolidze called out Adesanya and Whitaker. I hope they give him Adesanya because I want to see Adesanya win one at least. Like, Jesus, man, he's been on a slump. But I don't know who they give him. I think Robert would probably knock him out, honestly. But Adesanya fight, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Go ahead and give it to him. If Adesanya doesn't finish Roman Dolidze, then geez, yeah, it's time for him to hang it up. But yeah, shout out Roman Dolidze. I got cooked on the picks, bro. It was an absolute ugly day. 4-9. The 4 wins I had were, Chitty, Andre Lima, Blackshear, Vallejos. That was it. Everything else, I got cooked. I'm not afraid of the shame. I believe in the reads. The fights just didn't play out like I thought they were, and I'll take the egg on the face. I'm gonna get back in the lab for next week. I have a chance to redeem myself and bounce back. But it is what it is. This is the game that we play. You can't you can't have everything your way, and it is what it is. I'll take it. So for the new segment I introduced for this card, Makai's Money Making Plays, we did have a parlay, and it was Damon Blackshear by sub, which came through, Kevin Vallejos by knockout, which came through, and then I had Ryan Spann get flatlined. I picked him by sub or decision. Jesus Christ. I should have played Andre Lima. I was more confident in that than I was Ryan Spann, especially after the weigh-ins. Ryan Spann did not look like I thought he would moving up to heavyweight. He just looked like, I'm going to eat and I'm not going to cut. He came in at like 250. If he would have came in 235 cut, I think he would have fared a lot better. But yeah, definitely should have played Andre Lima with that. Definitely would have came through, but it is what it is. Then I played AJ Cunningham straight. Yeah, never again. I'm never betting on that guy, never picking him again. That was absolutely disgusting. Just got dog walked for 3 rounds. Oh, man, nasty. And then the lock of the week, I had Kurt Hollabaugh. I'm not upset with the pick at all. I definitely gave Kurt round 1 and 3, but the judges, were smoking crack or something. But I'm not upset with that at all. I definitely had Kurt winning. If you guys watch the fight, you'll definitely think Kurt would have won. But it is what it is. But thank you guys for all the support. I will bounce back next week. We got a hell of a card coming in London. You got Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Definitely going to be in the lab studying a lot more for those fights. Thank you guys for the support. Drop some W's in the chat if you like the vid, if you like the reviews. I will see you guys next week. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for everything, and I am signing off.